Earth 2, number 6, written by James Robinson, art by Nicholas Scott. Last issue we left off with Green Lantern going into the gray and trying to find a way to beat Solomon Grundy, and Terry Sloan wants to nuke DC and a lot of other places in the world. So we open up with Commander Khan, basically about to beat the ever-loving crap out of Terry Sloan for wanting to nuke everything again, because that's just kind of the thing he does. And he's like, no, don't you see it's the only way? And then Khan's like, could we at least tell the new wonders that are down there fighting so that they can escape? And then we see them all fighting against Solomon, Al Pratt, Hawkgirl, and Flash. And they're all just running around trying to keep Grundy away from Green Lantern's body as he's down in the gray, thinking that he's down there trying to solve things, but it turns out that he's just down there cuddling with his dead ex-fiancée. So at that point, they get a call up in the Command HQ saying that, oh, cities all over the world, we're losing them, we're running out of time, we have to make a choice. And we see that the heroes are being caught up in Grundy's vines as well. They're unable to escape from him. And then we cut to Green Lantern, who's inside, and he's like, oh man, this feels good. Just cuddle. Wait, hold on. This isn't real. I need to remember this isn't real. And then, like, it pushes again to be like, no, it's totally real. And he's like, yeah, no, it's totally real. So I go, wait, no, you're doing it again. And so finally his ring burns bright enough, and he blasts away the image of Sam and starts talking to the gray. And it's like, is that the best you got? You think it's just going to be enough to overcome me? And it's like, well, it kind of was for a little bit there. But either way, you can't beat Grundy. Like, not even we can beat Grundy. It's just like, yeah, no, I'm sure. Anyway, you already told me how I can beat him, so I'm going to go. Bye. So then we get one last image in the Command HQ, and it's Commander Khan's, I guess, home of... It says Patna, Kolkata, and Varanasi. I don't know what country that is, but regardless, it's there. And for some reason, Sloan really draws attention to the fact that Khan was adopted, which I'm mentioning because it might come up later, but I don't see how it applies. But anyway, they've already fired off the nuclear missiles. They're on their way. They're heading to DC. It's their only chance. So at that point, Grundy's about to make his way to Green Lantern. Lantern kicks out of it, and he's like, ha-ha, the gray is done, Grundy, and so are you. And he just grabs Solomon Grundy and starts flying off into space. And as they get farther and farther away, all the vines start to, like, deteriorate a little bit. And Flash and Hawkgirl are like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's all we needed there. So what do we do now? And Hawkgirl's like, well, I mean, we have Al Pratt here, and now that Grundy's gone, that means he's going to go back to his original mission, which is, oh, shit. And then immediately he is coming after Kendra, saying like, oh, I have my orders, I will catch you, you can't run forever. But Flash holds her and then runs like super far away really fast, so she can run forever. So then up in space we see Grundy and I'm blanking on his name, but Green Lantern. They are fighting like up in the upper atmosphere, and Grundy's like, haha, you're getting weaker as you get further from plant life. And he's like, oh, is that really a thing? Is that a thing that's going on here? Okay, well, that sucks. And then he looks down and sees the missiles heading for DC. And he's like, okay, Grundy, just chill for a second. And he keeps them in an arm's length and uses his ring to grab the missiles and throw them into, like, deep space. And he's like, all right, those are done. And now with the final bit of my energy, goodbye, Grundy. And he blasts Grundy to the moon. And then he starts falling down to Earth, and he's like, well, here's a question. As I get close to Earth, will my ring recharge, or am I just going to fall to my death? He doesn't get to find out, though, because Hawkgirl intervenes and grabs him, saves his life. And at that point, the Command HQ is just like, hey, Grundy's gone. All the vines, can we call up the missiles? And they're like, the missiles were just thrown into deep space. Like, they've just managed to redirect them. We don't know how. And Khan turns to Sloan like, oh, hey, look at that. Looks like your plan sucked. And Sloan's like, oh, yeah, guess it kind of did. So at this point, military meets up with Pratt, and it's just like, yeah, no, I will find you, Hawkgirl, even if I go to the ends of the earth. And then Flash, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl all meet up. And basically just saying like, okay, so how'd you beat him? It's just like, easy, I put him on the moon. See, the gray, if we managed to actually kill Grundy, somehow, the gray would be able to then start another Avatar. But because I left Grundy alive, but so far away from Earth that he can't do anything, nobody can do anything. They're at a stalemate. So yeah, just no more going to the moon. And it's like, all right, cool, good idea. However, the planet has been decimated. Everything is dead. What do we do now? And Green Lantern takes his ring and just be like, I'm kind of just rolling off instinct, but this seems like the right thing to do. And he puts his ring into the planet Earth and says, like, that's like a kick start. It's not going to, like, happen all at once, but the Earth will heal. And it's like, all right, cool. So we're the new wonders, huh? Like, we could be the new Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman trio sort of thing going on. We could save the world. And Green Lantern immediately is like, yeah, here's the thing. Flash, you were warned by the god Mercury about something big coming. I was warned by the same thing from the ring. And I don't really need either of you. Like, I know my limits. I'm trained with the ring now. And I kind of just did that whole last part single-handedly. So I'm out. Goodbye. Alan Scott. That's his name. So at that point, Alan just leaves. And Hawkgirl and Flash are like, what a dick. What an absolute dick. And it's just like, all right, well, what do we do now? As they look around and see that flowers and grass are already starting to regrow. And that's where we leave off. This was a solid first arc. I think it did a good job of setting up, a couple new heroes, getting to their thing, setting up the state of the world. I like how they haven't really developed Flash that much. They've given a little bit to Hawkgirl and Al Pratt, who I think it's the Atom. I think that's his name. Atom Smasher? One of the two. Regardless, Green Lantern is, of course, the breakout star from this. He's the one who's getting the most attention and is given the most central importance, and I like it. I think it's a solid start. Obviously, we'll explore more of the team as it expands and different things are needed for them. I kind of... obviously, in the end, they're all going to end up teaming up, so it's just one of those things of meta reading it like, oh, yeah, they're not a team. Oh, I wonder how long that'll last. But this is a different Earth. It genuinely could last a while of them not being a team. So we'll see what happens as it continues. Overall, I'm going to give it I'll give it a 7.5. And a lot of it just comes down to, I like the ingenuity of how they've dealt with it. Where it's just like, I couldn't kill him, but he needs to be on Earth. So I just put him on the moon. That was pretty smart. I think it's a decent way of dealing with it. I didn't see it coming. So yeah, a solid read overall. I like Earth 2 as an opening act here. I'm looking forward to seeing how we continue on with it. And it could just be a nice little branch to the DC universe. So overall, 7 for this.